Even in a year as chock full as 2024 has been with AAA Gaming missteps, Avowed has managed to carve out a unique little situation for itself. I'm really shocked by how the art director here, Mark Hansen, has taken it upon himself to use Avowed as a platform to wage war with Elon Musk, like of all people. Okay, trying to tank your game specifically to own the chuds. Not exactly unique to Avowed, but using it to enact this vendetta against the rocket guy. That's a bold strategy, and one that is resulting in just a terrible situation for Obsidian, and definitely for the upcoming performance of this game, which, yeah, it's gonna be a day one Game Pass game. We're not gonna know the full extent of the backlash that is going to befall this game based on his statements, based on his actions, but from what we've seen from the gameplay side of this stuff, and as we get closer to its release date of February 18th, there's going to be a bunch of eagle-eyed people, myself included, tracking this game up to release, and well, the more I see of it, the more I'm sensing, yeah, this is going to be a lot more Starfield as opposed to Silent Hill 2 Remake, because those are two games. Those are two games right there that, oh boy, there were a bunch of red flags out there on the horizon, and well, Silent Hill 2 Remake managed to beat the allegations. Starfield, who's talking about that game 14 months after release? But let's talk about Avowed and where we left this game the last time we talked about it. Art director exposed by Elon Musk for alleged racist and illegal hiring practices. Musk says it won't end well for him because, yeah, we talked about Mark Hansen before, just a little bit in his monumental meltdown, which I thought at the beginning, just trying to be old good faith Don out here, you know, maybe it's a joke, but the further we delved into this, the more it seemed now this guy's, really got a few screws loose, and oh yeah, it actually gets worse from there. Art director for Obsidian, working on the first-person fantasy game Avowed, was exposed on X by Elon Musk for alleged illegal or racist hiring practices at the Microsoft studio. Musk then personally brought his discovery to the attention of Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. Oh shit, he went and talked to the manager, and because he's Elon Musk, yeah, he can make that call. Like, why would you personally pick a fight with somebody who you know can end your career just like that? It seems as though Avowed art director Matt Hansen's attempt at provoking ex-owner Elon Musk may have snowballed into a series of events that could expose developer Obsidian to illegal ramifications. The controversy started when Musk reposted, yes, a former World of Warcraft team lead, Mark Grum's account on Avowed pronoun selection feature. And yeah, having pronouns in fantasy game is utterly acceptable. And then Matt Hansen just decided to, over on Blue Sky, the daycare center for child enthusiasts, he went on this, big tirade, and we talked about it before. Go check out the video if you're so inclined, but catching everybody up to what the Musk side of this is doing. Musk reposted, adding, having pronouns in a fantasy game is utterly acceptable after, Grums comes out and says, I'm drawing the line here. We've seen too many red flags before. Yeah, you got sketchy character designs, but maybe the gameplay will be fine. Or, oh, you got pronouns. Perhaps, it makes sense in the story. No, we've seen pattern recognition kicks in at this point in time. You don't give AAA, especially in the West, any quarter. Now, wait until you see other people play it, see if they beat the allegations before you support this stuff. Hansen pounced on this, attacking Musk and trying to make it seem as though the whole thing had been a trap for the Tesla boss all along. I wanted so badly to make him mad with my game, and I can't believe it actually worked. Yeah, he said over on Blue Sky, just wait until you see the default, you sad sack of crap. It's like, okay, weird. And then enters Asmongold of all people. Okay, it didn't take long for the internet to start digging into the art director's past statements, and soon YouTuber Asmongold found something incriminating. Reminder to black artists out there who are looking for portfolio reviews or job advice. My DMs are open, and you will always have my priority, the uncovered Hansen quote said. We got too many crusty white dudes in this field. Please help Oh, I'm sorry. Let me help you. Replace me one day. I want to go back to living in the woods. Oh my God. This is the screed of every woke white woman that's out there just wanting to help the unfortunate minorities that aren't smart or capable enough to, get themselves a job. Please, won't somebody please help these dumb, incompetent minorities? I'm such a good person looking after all of them. I don't understand that they themselves, they're the ones doing the racism. Ian Miles' ripoff from the Other View podcast pointed to this as proof of racist hiring practices by Microsoft Studio. No, you can just go to the documentation and see that they're just festooned with DEI and bigoted hiring practices. You don't need to, deduce the ramblings of some bull-worshipping cuckold. Microsoft's gaming division is excluding whites from being hired to work on their video games. All of the new hires are unqualified quacks. Is that what that's supposed to be? I don't know what Q is. And oh, maybe queers? Is that what it's supposed to be? That could be, check a couple of boxes, and if you fit the mold of what we're trying to bring in, that makes sense. Maybe that does. Okay, and black dudes, because the company's executives have an explicit mandate against crusty old white dudes. Musk then seized on this, reposting it to X, tagging the CEO of Microsoft, yes, which owns Obsidian. Satya and Dala, this is illegal. But oh yeah, from there, it's just a bunch of, mean girls back and forth stuff we can talk about at a later date, because it involves something, something a little bit more substantive that I want to discuss in another video. Tune in tomorrow for that one. But sticking on the Elon train here for a second, yeah, he's just going to decide to really upend the apple cart, upset the industry so much in a way that, frankly, I have a different take on than a lot of people that are out there. Elon Musk announced his plan to create an AI game studio to make gaming great again. And here's the thing. There's a bunch of people that like to do a lot of virtue signaling on, AI can't replace us. And, you shouldn't allow AI to take a job of, one of these hardworking actors. And it's like, bro, it's going to replace people whether you like it or not. Okay, you see the rudimentary beginnings of it. Okay, just take a look at Mandalorian season 2 finale, when Luke Skywalker turned up. It wasn't Mark Hamill's actual voice. It wasn't his look. That was a total CGI gobbledygook. That actually was one of those rare instances of AI getting and creating a job for somebody because it was so horrific and somebody just easily touched it up and he ended up getting hired for the gig. And yeah, Luke looked a little bit better in Book of Boba Fett. Remember he was in Book of Boba Fett? Yeah, it was fantastic. That was during one of the 2 episodes where Boba Fett actually didn't have any speaking lines in it, but that's fine. No, he was definitely in that. AI is a tool, just like a computer's a tool, just like a typewriter's a tool, okay? But yeah, like it or not, creatives are going to have to work alongside AI, or they're going to get phased out. This can't be one of those situations when electricity and the incandescent light bulb came around and everybody was pearl-clutching about, what about the candle makers? Who's going to make the candles? Bro, if you're so unexceptional when it comes to the creative field, you can be replaced by something that is factory produced by a certain number of prompts. You don't deserve to be in the space. I hate to tell you that. So yeah, the fact that all of this stuff is getting started just because one hack with an ideological axe to grind decided to pick the wrong target, press the wrong buttons, choose the wrong prompts, ended up speedrunning the collapse of the Western gaming industry. You love to see it. The world's richest man has apparently had enough. Elon Musk today announced plans to create an AI game studio to make gaming great again. Musk, a longtime gamer who was at one time the world's top-ranked Diablo 4 player. Yeah, those leaderboards are so whack, who even knows where he's at this point in time. But he was definitely the most proficient Diablo 4 player in the world. Has been vocal in the past about his opinions in the gaming industry and the shift towards identity politics and virtue signaling. Musk has weighed in repeatedly on topics like pronoun selection, appearing in AAA video games and other agenda-driven content, making its way onto consoles. Well, mostly PC, because that's where a vast majority of people are playing their larger experiences now, but I digress. This ideological approach to storytelling has become the rule in modern gaming rather than the exception. The gamers have started to push back. Look at the disastrous rollout of games like, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, Dragon Age, The Veilguard, Concord, Dustborn, Star Wars Outlaws. Yeah, and that was all just this year. What a disaster. And gamers are doing whatever they can to make their voices and opinions heard. And one of those gamers, has a net worth of $326.4 billion, and he sent out one tweet after Matt Hansen's very public meltdown, and bro, it begins. To many game studios that are owned by massive corporations, XAI is going to start an AI game studio to make games great again. I don't understand how game developers and games journalism got so ideologically captured, Marcus said, talking to Dogecoin creator Billy Marcus. Gamers have always been trolls, anti-greedy corporations, anti-BS. Gamers have always rejected dumb, manipulative BS and can tell when something is an outsider poser. Musk responded to the post by saying, too many game studios, yes, are owned by massive corporations, and yeah, the industrialization of creativity. I would also throw in the fact that people that used to be passionate about this stuff, they didn't go through university industrial complex system to crank out after however long it is, 4-6 years, to get a game developer's degree. So they all learn the same tropey notions. They all work on the same slop engine to produce the same crap and wonder why. What happened? Where did all the creativity go? Oh, you outsourced it for credentialism. Good job on that one. But Elon Musk, yes, finding a way to just reduce the bloat that's out there. Because there is a fair amount of it, and it's something that Earthworm Jim creator Doug TenNapel points out, and, well, I agree with Doug. I created Earthworm Jim and got Game of the Year in 1994. I remember playing that shit on Sega Genesis. Boy, howdy, those games were fun. Earthworm Jim 1 and 2. Oh, Lord, justly deserved. We made Neverhood, Skull Monkeys, and worked on scores of other simple, fun, wonderful games before teams got bloated and inefficient. Being a conservative Christian caused a secular progressive culture to end merit-based content creation. Most of the best gamers I knew were conservative, had a killer work ethic, we were frugal with our budgets and only wanted to make games everyone would love. My old pals are scattered or pinned under EA. Even worse than the woke mind virus is the inefficiency of game creation when the money doesn't make it on the screen. Small, lean teams could turn the entire industry around. And yeah, when you go back to those creative days of the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, all the way up until like the 5th or 6th generation, back when your big studios, they were just the big publishers. Like Interplay was big in the cut. Now Midway was out there doing a bunch of stuff. Like I'm talking about early 2000s was probably about the peak. And yeah, that's when the most innovation was coming out. That's when you could see the general passion that was out there. And these were games that were developed on a shoestring budget. And now today, you got, what? Star Wars Outlaws costing upwards of $200-300 million. And for what? For what? A game that looks totally unremarkable, something that could just slot in so perfectly in the 360 generation. I could take a look at some of the screenshots coming out of Avowed, and we talked about it previously. It's like, it looks no different, or not markedly different, than what Obsidian was working on back in Fallout New Vegas days. Like, what are we doing out here? Clearly not spending your money appropriately. And because these budgets got so inflated by all of this corporate bloat and middle management running amok, these studios don't want to do anything too terribly experimental. They don't want to rock the boat. They want to go ahead and maintain the status quo. And it's so funny because there's so many progressives, so many ideologues that are out there. They want to claim that conservatives are the ones that want to uphold the status quo, and meanwhile they're out there being the beneficiaries of said system. Very interesting, but Elon Musk starting this AI game studio, whatever happens to it. Maybe it's a joke or something like that, but he's out there doing some hilarious stuff, like talking about maybe on a LARP, I don't know, maybe buying MSNBC. We know that they're going through some big troubles right now, and there's some rumors that NBC proper could be putting them up any day now for pennies on the dollar, and because it would just be hilarious to see Morning Joe have to rock a X hoodie or a Tesla cap. I just think, for the pocket change that it'll cost, and for the numbers that we're hearing, wouldn't be too dissimilar to when Vince McMahon bought WCW for $2.4 million. That's a crime in and of itself. But there's another thing that's out there that's also driving people mad. Okay, Elon Musk teasing buying Hasbro and D&D just with one simple tweet, replying to, the old ripoff Malaysian. How much is Hasbro? Oh boy, you want to kick another insane hornet's nest? You already got the game developers all up in a tizzy. You want to go over to tabletop stuff? I mean, at this point in time, you just wait long enough, and Warner Brothers will probably be putting DC up for sale. So if you want to make comics great again, we are very much looking at a window of opportunity. Or if Elon Musk wants it, He could not only be the most important man when it comes to space travel, when it comes to electric vehicles, he could also be the driving force of mainstream media, alt tech, gaming, and tabletop. Bro, this is crazy stuff. Crazy in the best sort of way. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.